This is Apple Valley News Now Prime Time, on your side.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. While the federal government recognizes the second Monday in October as Columbus Day, many states, including Washington, have renamed it Indigenous Peoples Day. Advocates say this is a time to celebrate Native American history and culture, but also to acknowledge the history of dispossession and violence against Indigenous people, especially in places where that history has been all but erased. Places like Fort Simcoe State Park on the Yakima Reservation. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell has this exclusive report.
About where that sign is.
Fort Simcoe Historical State Park is dedicated to the military fort that stood on the property for 3 years. But archaeologist John Schellenberger says beneath the manufactured lawn hides a history of brutality that lasted for more than 60 years, between 1860 and 1922.
So there was 2 dorm buildings, the boys and girls. It's now marked with signage for like lieutenant quarters. So there's no signage whatsoever that this boarding school even existed. The very first on-reservation boarding school happened right here in your backyard, right after a bloody, painful 4-year war.
Hundreds of Yakima children taken from their families by force.
The families would come and camp outside the grounds to be closer, just in the hopes to get a glimpse of them, get some time. My ancestor lost all 5 of his children. He tried to fight them off with an axe. And so they sent him to prison for about 12 years to San Quentin.
Children housed at Fort Simcoe forced to change their names, work hard labor, and abandon their culture.
Part of the effort was to be English into them. And so, yeah, they did awful things, torturous things to them. In order for them not to speak their own language and to actually speak English. If somebody didn't comply, then they would just starve them until they gave up, till they broke them. So yeah, they could be shackled or kept away from folks in detention for unknown periods of time, starving.
In a jail formerly used for prisoners during wartime.
They took great efforts to change us by putting us in these boarding schools and make us not Indians, make us white, Christian, landowning citizens. But by doing that, they were breaking them.
And with thousands of unmarked graves being uncovered at Indian boarding schools across North America, John is looking closer to home.
I wanted answers about this place and I didn't want to wait.
He started in 2020, looking in archives.
Records are scattered. They're in all different places, so it's a real mess.
Mentions found of a cemetery on site, but no location.
We really needed cadaver dogs to guide us towards a beginning place. Like, where do we start? Because it's such a large area.
Now they've brought in technology.
It looks like a lawnmower that married a baby jogger.
It's called ground penetrating radar,
which is essentially like a fish finder for the soil. That's the best way to explain it. It sends out a signal and then it receives a signal. And then that signal bounces off of objects and it receives the signal back telling us there's an object there.
Getting the readings is the easy part.
The hard part is going back and interpreting that data and separating what looks like burials from rock features.
John says efforts like this largely unfunded by the federal government.
There hasn't been any legislation passed. There's a bill that's been introduced for the 3rd time, hoping that it'll get passed.
In the meantime, this effort, run by volunteers and funded by John himself, private donors, and the Share Fund.
This one is also funded by Yakima Women in Trades, because we're working to train BIPOC women, natives, Hispanics, African Americans, those are interested in being archaeological technicians.
Women like 19-year-old Ilani Ike, who grew up hearing stories about her great-grandmother, a survivor of the boarding school at Fort Simcoe.
That trauma just made her be so afraid of speaking her language again.
But now Ilani is helping others to make sure the voices of boarding school survivors are heard.
It's bigger than just finding unmarked burials. It's about getting answers and starting a healing process for our community. We can grow stronger and know that we survived this. We made it out of it. and we can come back together and make it stronger for our children.
At Fort Simcoe Historical State Park, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
There is a federal bill up for consideration right now that would create a Truth and Healing Commission to oversee projects just like this one. So we'll continue to keep you updated on that progress. But for right now, let's switch gears and talk about your weather. We're seeing some big changes from that gorgeous weekend. Stacey Lee joins us now with your First Alert weather forecast.
Yeah, it's been quite a change in just a very short amount of time. Most of our showers in our region have dried up this evening. We're still seeing some showers moving across the Cascade Mountains. But again, don't worry, those showers are still on the way. We'll continue to see that next wave moving in tomorrow. This was earlier today, that system that came through, and there's that ridge of low pressure bringing in our next system, again moving from west to east and eventually making its way across the Cascade Mountains. We're expecting anywhere from maybe a half an inch of rain in the upper elevations of the Cascades. In the lower elevations, about 0.10 or about a tenth of an inch. So 68 degrees right now, Dust Devil Skycam, and our winds are light at 6 miles per hour. Here is the temperature trend, though, going from those 80s over the weekend to just barely making it into the mid 60s. And in Yakima, a nice cool morning there. Temperatures again low 60s, so very, very cool. Rain tapering off tonight, temperatures dropping, rain and wind through Wednesday, but that sunshine, it will return on Thursday. I'll get to all of that in your First Alert full weather forecast. Alyssa.
Thanks, Stacey. We have new developments tonight in the battle over the future of the Pac-12. The University of Washington has filed a legal brief on behalf of all the universities leaving the conference. So WSU and OSU are the only two universities not planning to leave the Pac-12, and they're fighting to block the other schools from having a say in what happens to the conference after next year. Well, UW's brief says the court should let the conference regulate itself. And it also says departing schools should still be considered members of the Pac-12 board because they've only announced their plans to leave. They have not formally left. And continuing coverage now of the proceedings in the case against Bryan Kohberger, the suspect in the murder of 4 University of Idaho students last fall. The judge has denied Kohberger's request to dismiss the grand jury indictment against him. Kohberger's defense team argued for its dismissal because 32 jurors were brought for the case instead of 45 that they say should have been present. The judge says the request came too early. That is why he says he rejected it. Kohberger's murder trial was supposed to start on October 2nd, but he waived his right to a speedy trial. The Yakima County Sheriff's Office says a man they believe committed a robbery in Toppenish last week is now behind bars. Deputies say about 5:30 on Wednesday evening, they got a 911 call from someone at the Easy Bucks store in Toppenish saying that 2 people had broken into the store. Authorities say the suspects had a gun. They pointed it at the person who called 911 and demanded money. That person, police say, refused, and the suspects ran away.
Deputies were able to arrest at least one suspect, and we have information about the other person that was involved in the robbery as well.
So investigators say they were able to talk to a witness who was in the store at the time of the incident. They were also able to look through security camera footage to identify the suspect. The federal government is once again allowed to regulate ghost guns for now. The Biden administration updated regulations so that the kits used to build ghost guns are considered firearms and they have to be tracked the same way. Well, a district court judge in Texas tried to block that regulation, even though the Supreme Court had already decided this year that the new rule should take effect while legal challenges play out. The Biden administration filed an emergency application arguing that the Texas judge essentially revoked an order that the Supreme Court issued. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito's administrative stay is in place right now. It expires a week from today. We are less than a month from the November general election here in the state of Washington, and in Walla Walla County, voters will decide the fate of a fire levy lid lift. Now, according to Fire District 5, the lid lift would mean an increase of 24 cents in taxes, would cost the owner of a $350,000 home an additional $84 per year, or about $7 per month. Walla Walla County Fire District 5 is planning to hold 2 public meetings to answer questions that you may have. They are at 4 p.m. on October 23rd and 10 a.m. on October 28th, both at the Walla Walla County Fire District 5 in Burbank. If passed, the levy lid lift would add up to 4 more firefighters and would add sleeping quarters to Fire Station 51 to accommodate faster response times in the Wallula and Charbonneau areas. The levy lid lift would also renovate the main fire station in Burbank and upgrade diesel exhaust removal systems and decontamination areas for improved firefighter health and safety. And it is Fire Prevention Week. Area fire departments are launching a Cooking Safety Starts With You campaign. Apple Valley News Now's Anna Trejo says this campaign is designed to save lives.
Cooking is an activity that brings family and friends together. It's something that can be enjoyable, but it can turn quickly if people aren't paying attention.
We do it every day, 3 or 4 times a day if you're like most homes. So it's easy to just not think about it. It just becomes routine. But when that routine changes just a little bit and you walk away for just a little too long, then that heated grilled cheese sandwich now is burning your cabinets and ruining the rest of your house.
Ben Shear with the Pasco Fire Department says when a cook is in the kitchen, be on alert. Whatever you got cooking, don't let it out of your sight. If you are frying, boiling, or grilling, keep anything that can cause fires away from the stovetops, such as oven mitts, wooden utensils, or towels.
Shear's theme is actually cooking fires, the #1 cause of residential structure fires in the city of Pasco, as well as nationwide.
Another big factor, if you are sleepy or have been excessively drinking alcohol, don't use the stovetop. And of course, smoke alarms are a key part of a home escape fire plan. Make sure to install smoke alarms in every room of your home. But don't just install them, make sure they are working.
Make sure those batteries are changed out if they need batteries. Smoke alarms are only good for 10 years, so they have to be changed out every 10 years.
Shearer says it's these simple but important actions you can take to stop a house fire and help keep a happy kitchen for years to come. Reporting in Pasco, Ana Trejo, Apple Valley News Now.
And one of the most important things that you can do is establish a fire escape plan in case of fire. Make sure everyone in the home is part of that plan, including children, so that everyone knows what to do in case there is a fire. Well, the cavalcade of bands made some noise over the weekend at Lamson Stadium in Kennewick. 21 bands from the Pacific Northwest performed and competed against each other for the #1 spot. We followed up with the band director of the winning band from Ridgeline High School in Liberty Lake. He said dedication from the kids makes it all possible.
It's been really fun to just be a team and to work really hard for the kids, and then the kids see that and they work hard in return for us. And it just kind of, nothing succeeds like success. So whatever it is that can be successful that day, we shine a light on it.
Now, congratulations to Ridgeline High School and all the other high schools that performed on Saturday. If you missed out on the cavalcade of bands, you will have to wait an entire year. The next one is coming up on the first Saturday of October 2024. And lots of attention focused on tonight's Powerball drawing, $1.5 billion, the jackpot there. The cash sum would equal nearly $680 million before taxes. The winning numbers were drawn just a short time ago. You see them there on your screen. Grab your tickets. The winning numbers are 16, 34, 46, 55, 67 with a Powerball of 14. Making global headlines tonight, violence erupts in the Middle East as the group Hamas attacks Israel over the weekend. We're tracking that conflict and how the United States is responding coming up. And eastern Washington skies turn gray with cooler temperatures this week. Stacey Lee is tracking your first alert forecast. Plus, you'll meet the new rodeo queen for 2024. That and more ahead on this primetime edition of Apple Valley News Now.
If you need workers' compensation because you were injured at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411 for a free consultation. Bothwell and Hamill.
Save through Tuesday with Bi-Mart's latest membership savings book posted at bimart.com. There's 16 pages of great store-wide savings, including everything you need for Halloween and more. At Bi-Mart, our members save more every day.
Our state has changed a lot in the last 140 years. We know because MultiCare has been here, guided by a single purpose, making our communities healthier. That comes from making courageous decisions, partnering with local communities to grow programs and services, and expanding healthcare access to those who need it most. Together, we're building a healthier future. MultiCare.
Time for a new roof? Let M&M Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. Plus, receive $1,000 off your new siding project for new construction as well as remodels. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Did you see this? It says most people are going to need long-term care that health insurance and Medicare won't cover.
I saw that, and it got me thinking, if I need to pay for home modifications or in-home care, I am not prepared. Are you?
Not really. I mean, whatever happens, I just want to know that I'll be able to get care and stay in my own home as I age.
Right? I want that too. So,
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
Ah, so it's a shelf to deposit your meat suit while you revitalize your life essence?
Now you got it. And at Denver Mattress, you'll find the best selection, best brands, all at the best prices. And during the epic fall sale, prices are dropping throughout the store. Like the Summit Queen, now only $332.49. Or get a $300 gift with any Tempur-Pedic. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Find out-of-this-world savings only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress in the galaxy.
Apple Valley News Now talks with school superintendents as they tackle challenges facing our kids.
Better communication with families.
Tuesday, we talk with Superintendent Tracy Pierce of Kennewick. Super sit-downs all this week on Good Morning Northwest from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
If you need Social Security disability because you are unable to work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411. Bothwell and Hamill. There's no fee unless you win.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back. A local rodeo queen will represent the entire state of Washington in 2024. Piper Sherm won the Miss Rodeo Washington pageant in Ellensburg over the weekend. You might recognize her as the 2022 Benton Franklin Fair and Horse Heaven Roundup Rodeo Queen. Miss Rodeo Washington contestants are judged on horsemanship, appearance, personality, presentation, knowledge, and public speaking ability.
I will officially take over the title January 1, so the first of the year. It has been such an amazing experience so far. The love and support from all of the ladies who have already held this title has been overwhelming, and the congratulations from my fellow contestants really uplifted my heart, and I can't wait for this year. And I even have a young lady who's a teen with me, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with her.
Miss Rodeo Washington duties include attending rodeos, promoting the sport, and engaging with the community, along with representing the state's rodeo industry.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And let's take a look at our Skywatch radar tonight. Again, we are seeing showers passing through the area, mainly down the Yakima Valley. Most of those showers now in the Cascade Mountains. But we have a little bit of a window, a clearing here, so to speak. Well, not for very long, though. We've got another system that's going to start to move in across the area overnight. This ridge of low pressure pushing that in on the coast, and we'll start to see those showers develop for most of the day tomorrow. Here's a quick look at that upper level flow. And again, that's going to keep most of the Pacific Northwest nice and wet tomorrow. And then eventually that will move on out, giving us a little bit of a break on Thursday. Let's take a look at our futurecast. And again, we'll start to see those showers develop in the early morning hours, moving down and across the area into the Columbia Basin, Tri-Cities, and Pendleton. As the day progresses, you'll see more showers. So they're going to kind of come and go throughout the day. So again, be prepared with the umbrella. You got to have a coat. It's going to be on the cool side. Plus, as these systems move through the area, those winds will increase around the region. Here's another big band of showers again on Wednesday. So not only tomorrow, but Wednesday as well. And then after Wednesday, we'll see a bit of clearing as that system starts to move right out of our area. Dust Devil Skycam tonight, 68 degrees. Our winds are light at 6 miles per hour. Our humidity at 50% right now tonight. Let's talk about those breezy and gusty winds. Had those little bit of winds earlier this evening, looking pretty good now. Those winds are going to start to pick up here in the Columbia Basin and along the foothills of the Blues in Dayton. And as the day progresses and as those systems move through, we'll see those breezy and gusty winds all through the area. And again, getting pretty windy here, Tri-Cities again on Wednesday. So gusty winds tomorrow and Wednesday. Windiest part of the area will be the Columbia Basin, Tri-Cities, Hermiston, and foothills of the Blues. So we'll continue to monitor those strong gusty winds. Temperatures are going to dip now below our average of 70 degrees. That's where we were today. Look at that. We're dropping down into the 60s for the rest of the week. Average in Yakima right now, 68 degrees. And again, those temps a few degrees below the average for the rest of the week. Our temperatures around the region tonight on the cool side again. Cool spot Cle Elum at 42. Yakima, Sunnyside, Toppenish at 46. Looking into the Columbia Basin, temperatures here in the 40s and 50s. Tri-Cities 51 tonight, Connell 49, 48 in Prosser. And looking towards the foothills of the Blues, we'll see those 40s and 50s there as well. Let's take a look at those daytime highs for tomorrow. Again, chilly rain showers, gusty winds in the afternoon. Temperatures only making it to the 60s and only hitting the 50s here in Ellensburg. So mid to low 60s for our region. Planning your day tomorrow, well, it's going to be wet pretty much all day long. Temperatures a little cool out the door, and yeah, going to want to definitely coat. Going to definitely feel like fall tomorrow. Here's our short-term forecast going into the next couple of days. Again, we'll start to see a little bit of break in between systems on Thursday. Tri-Cities as well. Temperatures staying below the average at 66 by Thursday. 59 degrees on Wednesday with those overnight lows in the 40s. So on the cool side, but again, lots to come still with more weather. I've got your 7-day planning forecast. And first, your reason to smile. I'll step out of this. Reason to Smile is brought to you by West Richland Family Dental and Prime Dental. This is Mount Rainier in the fall. This photo was taken over the weekend when it was beautiful and pristine. Look at those gorgeous colors there. And again, thanks to David for sending that in. Remember, if you'd like to have your photo featured on Reason to Smile, all you have to do is take a picture, send it to me, slee@applevalleyNewsNow.com. We'd love to get that on the airwaves. Alyssa?
At Mattress Depot USA, we realize your top priority is to get a quality mattress at a great price.
And it never hurts to do business with someone local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Your best defense against breast cancer is a healthy lifestyle. Don't smoke, exercise regularly, limit alcohol. Learn more at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Prosser Memorial Health, now scheduling mammograms with your health and safety in mind. This is how we care.
Get 2.9% APR for 36 months plus $1,500 purchase allowance on the 2024 XT5 and XT6 when you finance through Cadillac Financial.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
Does your bath or shower need a remodel? Bathfitter can do it all. We'll remove your existing fiberglass tub or shower and replace it with a custom crafted shower or soaker tub. All made in America at our state-of-the-art factory. We rebuild your walls with new drywall and install a custom-made tub or shower with seamless walls in as little as 1 day. All work is guaranteed and built to last. Call your locally owned Bathfitter store now to book your free in-home estimate or visit bathfitter.com.
There once was a famed country music philosopher named Joe Diffie who said, if it weren't for trucks, we wouldn't have tailgates. So this got me thinking, if we didn't have tailgates, we wouldn't have tailgate parties. And I'm pretty sure if we didn't have tailgate parties, we probably wouldn't have football. And if we didn't have football, well anyway, I'm just thankful for tailgates, that's all. Here's to a great tailgate season. Come see us today and feel the power of Pingree.
Lewis Culligan, your local water experts since 1936. The world's most efficient water softener. Safer drinking water in every glass. Convenient, reliable delivery. Industry-leading technology. Here for every water worry.
An affordable, adjustable bed from Mattress Depot USA will help you sleep better.
And help alleviate aches and pains, sleep apnea, and snoring.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
This is Apple Valley News Now, prime time, on your side.
Now to the violence that erupted over the weekend between Hamas and Israel. Misinformation about the event spread on X, which is the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. Multiple users shared a phony press release attributed to the White House which falsely claimed the United States was sending billions of dollars in new aid to Israel. Elon Musk also posted a recommendation to X users to keep up to date on the conflict by following an account that was known for spreading misinformation. Now, he later deleted that post and advised users to, quote, stay as close to the truth as possible, even for stuff you don't like, end quote. Now, Israel responded to attacks by Hamas over the weekend by declaring war, launching deadly attacks and cutting off access, food, and electricity to Gaza, which is a territory that Hamas has controlled for nearly 2 decades now. There has been some concern about aid to Palestinians in Gaza possibly being misused by Hamas. The United States and the European Union consider Hamas to be a terrorist organization. The United Nations technically does not, and the UN Secretary General has called on world leaders to continue delivering humanitarian aid to Palestinians in Gaza. American Airlines has canceled all Tel Aviv-related flights, that's to Israel, through Friday because of the violence. That after a warning was issued by the union for the carrier's pilots about the dangers of flying into that airspace amid this conflict. In response, American Airlines said in a statement, flights in and out of Tel Aviv would be canceled through Friday, and they said the airline would monitor the situation and make further adjustments as needed. The memo also said American Airlines had arranged to evacuate its working crew members from Tel Aviv. Now, President Biden and a bipartisan group of lawmakers have vowed to provide aid to Israel, which is a close U.S. ally. Israel's prime minister says they're in the midst of their counteroffensive, which he says could go on for some time. ABC's Liz Landers has details on the U.S. response.
Fighting intensifying between Israel and Hamas today as Israel launched an aggressive counteroffensive, striking Gaza continuously, hitting more than 1,500 military targets, according to Israeli defense forces. The Israeli defense minister calling it a, quote, total siege, cutting off all gas, electricity, and power to Gaza. Hundreds killed and thousands injured in both Israel and Gaza. Both sides facing horrors of war.
No one feels safe. I mean, you feel bombing is just random. I mean, it happens everywhere, anytime.
A young Israeli father telling ABC's David Muir about the terrifying moment that he realized his wife and 2 young daughters were kidnapped by Hamas.
I recognized them immediately, and I saw the video twice. In the second time, I couldn't watch anymore because I melted down. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't believe this is happening to me. It was a nightmare. It was the worst possible scenario.
He has not heard from them since. Stories like this from scores of Israeli families as Hamas claims they are holding more than 100 people hostage, threatening to kill them if the shelling doesn't stop. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing the enemy in no uncertain terms.
Hamas terrorists bound, burned, and executed children. They are savages. Hamas is ISIS.
Netanyahu also thanked the U.S. for their support. President Biden, who met Monday with his national security team, forcefully condemning the attack. A White House official telling ABC News that Israel's top request at the moment is largely weapons replenishments.
You can imagine they're going through quite an expenditure of missile interceptors and artillery, ammunition, that kind of thing.
In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
Now, President Biden, as you heard, promised military support to Israel's prime minister, but new funding for Israel and Ukraine, as a matter of fact, has to go through Congress. That can't happen until Republicans elect a new House Speaker. Now, Republican lawmakers will gather to focus on that topic tomorrow, but the first votes aren't expected until Wednesday. Economic losses from the United Auto Workers strike total $5.5 billion from the first 3 weeks of the walkout. That's according to analysis by AEG. Previous record, 2018 UAW strike against Ford, cost $4 billion. This is the first time in the union's history that it has struck all 3 unionized automakers at the same time. Tonight, we're talking the state of education. Coming up next, the first in our series with school superintendents. Tonight, Richland's superintendent explains the challenges their district is facing. And fall-like conditions in eastern Washington right now. Stacey Lee is tracking your first alert forecast. Plus, a rare roundup. See more of this mesmerizing video still ahead on Apple Valley News Now.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
hitting our mark for 30 years. Your locally owned and operated Arrow Construction Supply.
Here, freshly made grizzly bear tracks. Survival, it's not guaranteed. Good thing I got my Ford Bronco Sport, because it goes over any terrain.
Get a great deal on a Bronco Sport only at your local Ford dealer.
Save through Tuesday with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. See why over 1 million membership families save more at Bi-Mart. It's packed with 16 pages of store-wide savings, including sporting goods, Halloween candy and decor, and must-have pantry essentials. Bi-Mart's one-time $5 membership unlocks a lifetime of savings, and our employee owners are here to serve you. Save now through Tuesday with our latest savings book at Bi-Mart, your Northwest employee-owned membership store.
Our state has changed a lot in the last 140 years. We know because MultiCare has been here, guided by a single purpose, making our communities healthier. That comes from making courageous decisions, partnering with local communities to grow programs and services, and expanding healthcare access to those who need it most. Together, we're building a healthier future. MultiCare.
Affordable? Yeah, we got that. Stylish? Got that covered too. Quality? You can bet on it. At Furniture Row, we stock furniture that's value priced, built to last, and looks fabulous. And during the epic fall sale, everything is on sale. Like the Cascade sofa for only $3.99, the Champagne Dining Group only $4.99, the Redondo bed now just $2.99, and the Summit Queen for only $332.49. Plus, 4 years, no interest. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. The epic fall sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Is Medicare planning the last thing on your list? If you're approaching retirement age, contact the professionals at Stand Fortier Insurance Services and get answers to all your Medicare insurance questions. Let Stand Fortier guide you through the Medicare maze. Stand Fortier Insurance Services, bringing clarity to the complex.
It's a Saturday showdown in Seattle as the Oregon Ducks blow into Husky Stadium to battle Washington. The Ducks, the Huskies, their final regular season Pac-12 meeting ever. Watch Saturday at 12:30 on Apple Valley News Now.
Join me Thursday at Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar for our Golden Bachelor watch party. Awesome food and drinks, great giveaways, and Tri-City's own Faith Martin competing for the Golden Bachelor.
From Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar, Active for Life, and Apple Valley News Now.
Here, freshly made grizzly bear tracks. Survival, it's not guaranteed. Good thing I got my Ford Bronco Sport, because it goes over any terrain.
Get a great deal on a Bronco Sport only at your local Ford dealer. Leading the way and hitting our mark for 30 years. Your locally owned and operated Arrow Construction Supply.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
Big changes underway after a glorious weekend. It was so pretty out all weekend long, and now we've seen a big shift not only in temperatures, but we're going to start to see some more rain showers. Most of those showers have tapered off tonight. We are still seeing some rain across the Cascade Mountain Range, but overall most of our showers have dried out this evening, but not going to stay that way. We've got another big system sitting out on the coast, and that's going to move right in first to the west side, obviously, make its way across the Cascades, and then to the Columbia Basin, Tri-Cities, foothills of the Blues. So expecting most of the heaviest rainfall in the Cascade Mountains. However, we will get a pretty fair amount in the lower elevations. It's that upper level low, and again, that baby's going to move right on across and continue to get us soaked pretty much all day and even into Wednesday. So look for widespread showers over the next 48 hours. Here's our futurecast kind of timing things out for you, and you'll see this band of showers here in the morning. So out the door at the bus stop, it's going to be wet. You're going to want that umbrella in the Kittitas, Yakima valleys. Again, might even see a few snowflakes in those upper elevations with these cooling temperatures. Here's another big band of showers coming through the area around lunchtime, and then it gets a little unsettled as we move through the rest of the evening Tuesday night. But as we get into Wednesday, we have another big round of showers coming as well. And again, heavier 40 or so across the mountains. We could see anywhere from a half an inch to maybe an inch of rain in the Cascade Mountains and about a tenth to a quarter of an inch in these lower elevations through the Columbia Basin. And again, we'll continue to see that scattered pattern. Now, as those systems move through, we'll also see some breezy and gusty winds. Let's take a peek outside. Dust Devil Sky Camp tonight, 68 degrees. Our humidity at 50%. Our sunset was at 6:21 tonight, and winds are light at 6 miles per hour. Let's talk about those breezy winds. Not too bad this evening, but we'll see those winds starting to pick up in the Columbia Basin and along the foothills of the Blues and even down the Columbia River Gorge portions of the I-84 corridor between Hermiston and Pendleton. So look for those breezy and gusty winds. They're even going to get breezier as we move into Wednesday. This is Wednesday morning. It's going to stay pretty windy all day long. So again, secure any loose outdoor items. This is going to start to help those leaves fall off the trees, as I've seen lots of color changes. Now, we are tracking below average temperatures as well. We were nice in the 70s today. We drop into the 60s and we stay there through Sunday. Same thing in Yakima. Our average is 68 degrees. We're going to drop below that right into the weekend with temperatures a few degrees below average. For tonight, look at these temperatures around the area. Again, we're in the 40s. Ellensburg 43, 46 Toppenish, Yakima, and Sunnyside. Columbia Basin 40s and 50s here as well. 51 Tri-Cities, 52 Hermiston, 48 in Prosser, and then looking out toward the foothills of the Blues, we've got 40s and 50s there as well. Good news is tomorrow it's going to be wet. We kind of need that water, but it will be much cooler. So grab your coat out the door. You're going to be in the 40s and 50s. So it's going to be a little bit of a cool day with the conditions throughout the day. So look for those rain showers. Planning your day again, plan on a wet afternoon all day long. Tri-Cities on and off showers here as well. 52 out the door. Those temperatures in the low to mid 60s, and in Walla Walla a wet rainy day there as well. And those temperatures on the cool side stepping outside. Your 7-day planning forecast, that is on the way. Alyssa?
Thanks, Stacy. The new school year is now underway, and we're sitting down with local school superintendents. Apple Valley News Now's Riley Fitzgerald spoke with the Richland superintendent about the most important things facing school districts and education right now.
Let's talk about some of the goals for the Richland School District this year as we start the 2023 to 2024 school semester.
Yes, we're so excited for this school year. We have some great things that we've brought on board for the Richland School District. Better communication with families through a new app. And so that's a goal to get that fully implemented. Also, we've kicked off our bilingual program. And so K1 at Tapta Elementary. And then we're implementing all our safety and security upgrades that the voters supported. So those are some of the big areas we're focusing on this school year.
What would you say some of the challenges facing the Richland School District is this year?
I would say, just continuing to monitor and make sure that we're implementing all of our safety procedures consistently. We want to continue to be very proactive and preventative with our safety and security. So continuing to do training on safety measures and that safety culture in the Richland School District, and then we'll be implementing all the new renovations that the voters supported us with in terms of the capital projects levy to make sure to keep our buildings even safer, that single point of entry.
I feel like something that's impacting a lot of students and staff is kind of this nationwide trend of scary stuff happening in school districts, school shootings, swatting incidents. It's kind of scary to be a student right now.
Yeah, and student or a staff member, and oftentimes very scary for families and parents. So again, the Parent Square app, what we were finding is that it was taking about 10 minutes for emergency messages to go out to all of our families, and that's just too long. And so our new program is much quicker. Again, it has 120 different languages as well. But that will really help as well, because parents want to know right away what's going on and then keep them up to date, as well as our students and staff. They need to know exactly what is happening.
I've seen a big push for mental health resources with, I think, everybody, but especially with teenagers. Have you seen this represented through the school district?
Yes, very much so. And again, those connections with an adult is critical. And so that we're hoping that over time, those will continue to get better, but that connection with an adult is the key.
Gotcha. And would you say that this was caused in some way by the pandemic? Would you say that it's always been there, but now we're focusing on it more? Do we know?
It was amplified. There's a lot of data out there that it was already starting to be a bigger issue than ever before, but then it just got amplified. And the resources we weren't able to, excuse me, we weren't able to go and help the students because they couldn't come in. Everything was so remote, even doctors. But I do think now that we're recognizing it and we are more preventative again, that we're going to see some real improvements.
That was Riley Fitzgerald reporting. Now you can find the extended version of this interview on our website or over on our YouTube channel, which is Apple Valley News Now. Coming up tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, Riley sits down with Superintendent Tracy Pierce from the Kennewick School District with similar questions. A moderate earthquake rattled the west side of Washington on Sunday. The 4.3 magnitude quake had an epicenter near Port Townsend. People reported feeling it from as far away as Vancouver, BC and Olympia, Washington. And that's a great reminder about an upcoming event regarding quake preparedness. The Great Washington Shakeout takes place 10 days from now. It aims to get people ready in the event that a devastating earthquake strikes. This year's simulated earthquake drill takes place at 10:19 on the morning of October 19th. It's also a great opportunity to assemble items needed for a disaster or emergency kit. All right, before you head to count some sheep, check out this video of a rare sheep crossing. It comes from the City of Othello's Facebook page and shows the flock of sheep near State Route 17. Aerial sped up shots of the flock show the ATVs as they shepherd the herd across the highway. That's creative use of technology, Stacy.
I like it. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, possibly easier than training a dog.
There you go. There you go. All right, well, let's talk final weather. And again, we have a huge cool down. Look at those temperatures on the cool side all week long. We're going to stay wet. We'll have a couple days of a break Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we'll start to see more showers developing the first part of next week. So enjoy. It was good while it lasted, right?
You got your sweater out now.
That's right.
Thanks, Stacy. Thank you so much for watching. You can always find the latest on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com, and we're back tonight at 11.